Hello everybody, welcome to I guess we're going to call it a Sunday vlog. We're going to kind of talk about the last week and what's gone on, or also whatever else I come up with. Things and stuff. How about that? That's what we're going to do, things and stuff. This week, well, paid mods for Skyrim, how about that? That's crap. That's crap. It's not crap because I don't want the mod authors to be paid. I want the mod authors to be paid. I think anybody who does any work deserves some remuneration for that work. After all, that's sort of the whole concept of YouTube as well. I would like some remuneration, which is why ad blocking software and stuff like that is so antithetical to the whole concept, but that's beside the point. Mod authors they deserve something, but to make a paywall that prevents people from getting mods just because they didn't want to pay for the mods, that doesn't really work in my mind, especially through Steam. Steam is a joke when it comes to this kind of thing. I have no problem if I have a mod and I really love the mod. There's a donate button, a PayPal donate of some way that I could donate to the mod author. Totally, I'll throw them a few bucks. Sometimes I'll throw them a lot of bucks. It all depends on the mod. But there's not a lot of people who can do that because in most cases, the publisher doesn't like that kind of thing. So they actually write in the EULA, the end user licensing agreement, or post it somewhere that you can't make any money using their game assets in modifications. So you can't sell things, the concept of paywalling things. It has to be able to be viewed to anybody. So YouTube isn't a problem because anybody can view YouTube. The fact that there's monetization on YouTube is okay because anybody, anywhere in the world, assuming they have an internet connection, can view the YouTube video of, say, Skyrim. But when you paywall your mods or put your mods behind a paywall of some description, that's where we start to get into a weird area. Now, because Bethesda's okay with it and is signed off on it, Steam can do this. But Steam also takes 75% of the sale price. Ridiculous amount. I'm going to link a couple of videos down in the description. I'm going to link 3. One of them is Enter Elysium and his talk about this. One is Dan Nerd Cubed and his talk about it. And one is Total Biscuit and his content patch. I agree with the concept behind all 3 of them. Paywalls are bad. Let me give you money as a donation. That's fine. I think mod authors should get some payment if they desire it. If they don't desire it, for whatever reason, that's fine. But to create a paywall, therein lies a whole world of problems. And there's already been a world of problems on the Steam Workshop with stolen mods being stolen off the Nexus and put onto Steam Workshop. A mess and bad. Overall, bad implementation by Steam. The 24-hour return policy is a joke when it comes to modding. The fact that if a mod gets broken by an update, you're out the money. Steam doesn't care. And that's a problem. Overall, bad thing for the industry. Don't pay for mods. Donate to the mod authors directly. Nexus has some donate buttons for some mod authors that have gotten explicit okay to do it. So if you feel like giving money to a mod author, that's the way to do it. Steam, don't go down that route. Okay, the whole concept of they should always be free, that's wrong. That's a completely wrong-headed point of view. I think they should be free, but there should be a donation button and people should use the donation. The true pay what you want model, which some people say never works because people just take it and won't give you any money. Studies have found time and time again when you create a pay what you want model that people will pay more than you expect. Panera Bread did this at one point in time where they had some pay what you want stores in certain areas. And they had some people who come in and pay 5 cents for what amounted to $10 worth of food. But they'd also have people come in and pay $50 for $5 worth of food because they knew that the money that went above the cost was going to charity. And that's actually the bigger point is Panera was doing this as a charity thing. So they covered costs and then anything above that went to charity. In this case, pay what you want to a mod author makes sense. They should try it, see it. You might see donations usually will outpace revenue from viewing, which is why when people donate on the fan funding for my site, the donation levels are higher than their per watch levels. Dan actually does a great job discussing the whole concept of charging per video versus letting everybody watch and taking donations. So that's that. GTA 5, I don't like GTA 5. And the reason I don't like it, and we discussed this ad nauseum during a live stream, is because I don't own the characters. Now, this was true of all the Grand Theft Autos. You don't truly own the characters. You're playing somebody else's design and construct. Now, with GTA San Andreas, you had the ability to change CJ so much, he would become sort of your character. But when you compare it to something like Saints Row 3, where you have huge amounts of customization, Saints Row 2, even Saints Row 4 to some degree, the amount of customization was so high that you would feel the character became you. You were able to project yourself via your character. You don't get that in Grand Theft Auto very much. Additionally, Grand Theft Auto 5 has become, one of my followers on Twitter said, a psychopath simulator. Now, it used to be Grand Theft Auto was gritty, dark, crime-ridden, but the main protagonist that you play was sort of like a criminal with a heart. Think about CJ. He wanted to get out of the ghetto. He wanted to do right by everybody, and things just kept putting him back in a place where he was doing criminal things. Nico was much the same. Nico never really wanted to do these things. He'd always say, I don't want to do it, and then he'd end up having to do it. Now, that brings up another issue, but we'll get to that in a moment. Even Tommy Vercetti in Vice City had sort of the same thing. And that concept of the lovable rogue is what made Grand Theft Auto work. You were doing bad things, but you were doing it as a lovable rogue, or could do it as a lovable rogue. And that's sort of gone in Grand Theft Auto 5. You get a little bit of it in Franklin's story. You don't really get it with Michael at all. And Trevor is a psychopath. And that, to me, just made the game fall flat. I'm spending a lot of time doing collection missions or driving around in circles because I'm having more fun doing that. The scenery is beautiful. The graphics fidelity is gorgeous. But I don't feel the story is really there. And Grand Theft Auto Online, don't even get me started. That's a whole different beast unto itself outside the normal game. The other thing is the concept of being able to pick and choose. Now, people say, oh, it's an open world game. It's an open world sandbox. No, it's not. Okay. It's an open world. It is not a sandbox. A sandbox denotes the ability to do anything you want with a downwind impact. But that's not true. If you do the story, you are on rails during the story. There's a mission where you have to assassinate some guy on the top of a building. And so I was like, oh, well, then I'll just call a blimp and I'll get the blimp and I'll fly up there and I'll do it that way. Yeah, except for if you get more than a block away from or 2 blocks away from the building, you fail the mission. And there's no way to initiate the mission without being there. And so it becomes sort of a do it my way attitude. When you play a game like Witcher, the Witcher series, where your decisions that you make have a huge downstream impact, it's very difficult to code because you actually have to close off chunks of code. And I'm going to give you an example from Witcher 2 from very early in the game. As you're prepping for a big battle, you run across some people, some soldiers talking to a young soldier, and they're kind of goading him to go to battle without any armor on. Now, you could walk away or can goad this guy as well, and he fights with no armor on and he dies. Or you can tell him, that's stupid, fight with armor, and he'll live. Now, what does that mean to you? Well, you go to jail. When you break out of jail, if you have saved that kid, he will help you out of jail. So you can actually bypass some of the difficult fight scenes, because you've saved this kid. It's a small decision that changes the arc of the story. Now, it's a very simple decision there. That's an if-then code branch. But what I would like to see, and what I wish that Grand Theft Auto and Saints Row would do, is close off whole storylines. If I don't feel like doing this mission for whatever reason it is, I don't have to do it. It doesn't matter what the mission is. It could be jacking a car. I don't want to jack the car. Well, then it closes off a storyline. I don't get any revenue from that storyline, and I go on and do something else. That would be, in the end, that would create the concept of an open world nearly sandbox style game, because then I own my character. I own my character's decisions because I can make the decision not to do something. I mean, when you think about GTA San Andreas especially, as you get about halfway through the game, you're making enough money on property that you really don't have to do anything else, right? You could have walked, as CJ, you could have walked away from a huge amount of the things that happened, and you could have gone on to a very good life with all the money coming in on these side operations. Maybe you like boosting cars, so you just go and boost cars, and that's all you do. That is something I would have liked to see. I just feel like Grand Theft Auto 5 has really limited what you can do, to the point that they focused on, hey, you want to do open world sandbox? Go play on our online. You don't want to do that? Well, then here's this corridor shooter. I mean, it's what it's become. It's corridor shooter, in my opinion. Your opinion may vary, and that's great. But I'd like to see a Saints Row series that came out with the Witcher decision tree, because I think that would just blow away anything out there. And I think Rockstar would be hurting if that happened. There you go. So Skyrim mods, boo. Please, no more, no paid mods. Stop it. Just stop the money grab. Stop the money grab. If you have a good mod out there and the mod author has a donate button, throw some money at them. That's the way it works. If not, we can't throw money at them. I hope it dies. It looks like it'll die based on the response on Tumblr and Reddit and Steam and Twitter. People don't like it, but unfortunately I think it'll stay because Steam is a monopoly and they get to do whatever they want. And GTA 5. I might talk about the online once I've played it a little bit more, but I don't like the story, and I had to hack my way around one of the points, the whole torture scene thing. Don't want to talk about it too much. Without spoilers, I had to hack my way around it. I found a way to hack around it, not actually do it. But there you go. Hopefully you'll enjoy these vlogs. I'm going to try to make this a weekly thing. I'm going to kind of not do channel updates because I'll just start new series randomly, and that's how it's going to work. And unless something huge happens, then we might do something. All right, until next week, when we'll talk about whatever happens. I think I actually have something planned for next week, but there you go. Feel free to comment down below your thoughts on the Skyrim mod fiasco, your thoughts on Grand Theft Auto 5, good, bad, or indifferent. Be nice, be civil, please. Civility, it's the mark of being an adult. All right, until next time. Bye, everybody.